Kick-ass facts! Pew, 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 pew! The euphemism treadmill, a term from Steven Pinker, explains how we keep swapping in nicer sounding words to avoid uncomfortable truths. But those new words eventually pick up the same baggage and need replacing too. How long before unalive becomes triggering? George Carlin also spoke about this, and he said it gets worse with every generation. When he was talking in the context of war, he said shell shock turned into battle fatigue, then operational exhaustion, then post-traumatic stress disorder. Each version more watered down and easier to ignore. Pinker and Carlin were calling out the same thing. Sometimes softening language doesn't help. It just hides what's really going on. And the words don't change the reality, and eventually the new words end up getting replaced too. Some Japanese monks mummified themselves while they were still alive, known as Sokun Shinbutsu. These monks followed a brutal path of self-denial in the pursuit of enlightenment. For years, they adhered to a diet of nuts, seeds, roots, and bark, gradually starving themselves while eliminating body fat and moisture. They also drank tea made from the poisonous urushi tree, which caused vomiting and act as a preservative by making their bodies toxic to decay, causing insects. In the final stage, they were sealed in a stone chamber just big enough for them to sit in the lotus position, where they meditated until death. A bamboo tube provided air, and a bell let the outside world know they were still alive until it stopped ringing. If the body resisted decomposition, it was considered a sign of spiritual success. A few of these self-mummified monks remain preserved and venerated in Japanese temples to this day. The word gossip comes from the Old English word godsip, which meant a godparent, literally God plus sib, meaning relative or kinsman. In the 14th century, godsib was used to describe women who were close companions during childbirth. These women would often chat amongst themselves while attending births. Over time, the term lost its religious connotation and narrowed to mean someone, usually female, who engages in idle or intimate talk, often about others. By the late 1500s, gossip came to mean not just the person, but the act of talking. What ancient culture once held a trial for a dead pope? A, the Byzantine Empire, Byzantine, depends where you're from. B, Roman Empire. C, the medieval Catholic Church. Or D, Ottoman Empire. The correct answer is C, the medieval Catholic Church. In 897 CE, Pope Stephen VI ordered the exhumation of his predecessor, Pope Formosus, dug up the corpse, dressed it in full papal robes, and put it on trial. This strange event is known as the Cadaver Synod. The rotting body, propped up on a throne, was charged with various crimes, found guilty, and had its papal acts declared invalid. Sable Island is this wild, remote sandbar way out in the Atlantic, about 300 kilometers off the coast of Nova Scotia. It's known as the graveyard of the Atlantic because over 350 ships have wrecked there thanks to the constantly shifting sands, thick fog, and rough waters. But what makes it famous is the hundreds of wild horses that live there, completely free, no humans managing them, just horses doing their thing. They survive for generations in pretty brutal conditions, no trees, very little fresh water, and frequent storms. It's also home to massive seal colonies and some species you won't find anywhere else. These days, Sable Island is a protected national park, and very few people are allowed to visit. How much skin does the average person shed in their lifetime? A, 4 pounds, B, 15 pounds, C, 25 pounds, or D, 40 pounds? The correct answer is D, 40 pounds. Your skin regenerates every 27 days over a lifetime. That adds up to around 40 pounds of dead skin cells. Since dust is often a mixture of dead skin cells from everyone sharing a space, plus fibers, dirt, and other tiny particles, ask yourself this: how many pounds of other people's skin do you think you've inhaled over your lifetime? Gross. In 1915, Effie Hotchkiss and her mother Avis made history by becoming the first women to cross America by motorcycle. Effie bought a Harley-Davidson with a sidecar for Avis, and together they rode nearly 9,000 miles from Brooklyn to the Panama Pacific International Exhibition in San Francisco and back. Despite terrible road conditions, Avis trusted Effie's careful driving and mechanical skills, saying she wasn't afraid of breakdowns because Effie could fix any issues herself. You go, Effie.